Hello again, guys. As promised, today we're going to be looking at terrain you're going to need for your tabletop. There's two ways to go with terrain. You can either buy pre-built or make your own. So we're going to start with pre-built stuff, and these come in various different types: plastics, laser cut, MDF, cardboard as well, that you have to pre-assemble yourselves. So I'm going to start with the plastics. There's also obviously with the advent of 3D printing, there's a lot of 3D printing that you can get terrain from. Etsy is a good one to look at, and obviously if you've got your own 3D printer, you can go to your STL guys and get the files for that. So we're going to start with obviously Games Workshop Warcry set here. Again, comes with all pre-made plastic, but again you have to put them together and build them for yourselves and paint them. Again, depending on how much you're willing to spend. Visit the Games Workshop site. They have stuff for 40k and Age of Sigmar, fantasy, sci-fi, various different sets to cycle in and out. This is obviously from Warcry First Edition, but I say there's a lot of different types you can get from Workshop. Another choice you can pick up from is laser cut MDF. Couple of companies I use, Foreground and Sarissa Precision. Again, they do a wide range of stuff depending on what you want. Again, you have to cut them out and build them, but most of them these days already come pre-painted. This is a set from Foreground for the French Indian Wars, but again you can quite easily use these for fantasy. They are quite complicated kits to build, but they do look quite good once they're actually done. Again, you can take the lids off, have a look inside there, doors, windows, fireplaces. Again, various different types depending on what you're looking for. There's the underside, the laser cut MDF, but the outsides are quite well detailed. Again, there's nothing to stop you painting them afterwards, but I quite like the look of these because they're predominantly for the French Indian Wars, and it's already made for that, the right colours and everything. Again, there's other companies besides Foreground and Sarissa, but they are two of the best. Take a look online for Foreground or Sarissa for those. And there's also pre-printed cardboard companies these days. One of the ones I use a lot of is Battle System. Again, these are quite expensive. I believe this was £80, but it gets to build a complete 2 by 2 foot by 2 foot space station. This is the Frontier core set. These come on pre-built sheets. You also get a gaming mat with these as well, neoprene gaming mat. So it's well worth the money if you can afford it. There's the gaming mat. Again, I've still not opened it yet, but the detailing on there is really good for a gaming mat. The system itself from Battle Systems comes on these. I've already punched out the crates and built those. Again, once they're built, you might want to use PVA just to keep them strengthened, but they'll come out on punch boards. These are all Griblies and things. You get walls, Lots of walls, scatter terrain with them, stairs, everything you need to build a complete 2 foot by 2 foot frontier in this set. And they come with clips as well to clip the walls and things together. And go on Battle Systems website. They've got extensive tutorials on there showing you how to build it. You get all the clips, all the terrain, and as I say, a battle map to go with it. Battle Systems. And for this, so you get 329 pieces in this set. It was 80 odd pounds, but again, it makes a complete 2 foot by 2 foot table ready to go for your skirmish war games. Good value if you can afford the initial price. As I say, there's a lot of companies out there that do pre-printed cardboard terrain. This is just the one I tend to use quite a lot of. They do a science fiction series, they also do a fantasy series, I believe is also very good. It's all on the website. Go over, take a look, see what you're after. They do fantasy villages, wizards towers, lots of different sci-fi sets as well. And if I just show you one of the pieces from another set I got from Battle Systems, this is the sort of thing you end up with. All pre-printed, no painting necessary, cardboard, but it's very sturdy. The lid wasn't glued on, that's just so you can take it off and put your miniatures in. This is the sort of thing you end up with, all pre-printed, nicely done, and it'll quite easily hold the weight of miniatures. Let me just grab a miniature for you just to show you the scale. Again, there we go. It's all more than adequate. Again, cheaper than resin or plastic or MDF, but do be aware it's cardboard, so make sure it stays dry once you put it all together. Gale Force 9 is another company that does pre-made, pre-painted resin kits already made. But again, you're paying a premium for those. But if you want to go that way, make it easy and cheaper, visit Gale Force 9's website. They do a lot of stuff for Flames of War, but they also do generic trees, rivers, that sort of thing. So that's pre-built terrain that you can get, you know, buy it already, or like I say, you can start making your own. A couple of good websites I would suggest you take a look at. Go see Mel over the Terrain Tutor. He's very good. He's been going a few years now, and he builds his own terrain. And there's also a Canadian fella, Black Magic Craft. He's a very good website, YouTube channel to go see. So the Terrain Tutor and Black Magic Craft are far better than I am, so go and have a look at those. Well, I just want to show you a few pieces that I've made myself. Fantasy Tudor half timbered house. Basically, it's made from 5mm foam board. If you want to go down that route, cardboard roof. Cereal box cardboard is the best for that, and the actual half timbering is your coffee stirrers from Costa or Starbucks. You can buy bags of coffee stirrers off the internet, painted on windows. and that's what you end up with painted on door. Again, looks quite good. When it comes to painting terrain, I will suggest using cheap craft paints. Don't use your expensive Army Painter, Vallejo, Games Workshop paints. Get yourself a couple of tubes of the correct colour, cheap craft paints. Water them down slightly, and they should last you a good long while painting your own terrain sets. Don't use your expensive miniature paints on those. So there's a Tudor house that I sort of made. Again, useful for fantasy. Here is a hedge that I made. Scouring pad. I don't know what they're called in the States, but they're like pads for cleaning your pots. Dipped in PVA and then flocked over the top. A bit of sand on the base, a couple of bits of grass tufts, flock, and that was based on a cork floor tile. You packs of 12 cork floor tiles from your DIY store, very cheap. Again, a fence, again cork floor tile, your coffee stirrers, and bags of you get people that make models out of matchsticks. You can buy a big bag of matchsticks. I've got a bag of 5,000 that I've had for quite a few years. I've not even there's probably about 4,500 left. They're going to last you a good long while. Make things like fences, just for scale. There we go. And the hedge. So that's those. Model forest. An old plastic chopping mat. Once you've used them up in your kitchen, cut them to shape. You can buy bags of pre-made trees, again, online, very cheap. I got a bag of about 30 of these for about £12. Just glue them on. Cat litter around the edges. Sand on the top. Electrostatic grass. Plonk that down on your table. Quite adequate for wooded areas. Once again, for scale, quite easy to make. And I've got here a hill that I've made. This was made out of polystyrene ceiling tiles. I made this 25 years ago, and as you can see, still held up very well. What I did was paint on wall filler, polyfiller wall filler. Once that goes hard, painting over the top. Again, cat litter, flock, electrostatic grass. That's the sort of thing you end up with. What I did was I glued two ceiling tiles together, cut it to shape, and the same for the upper tier. Always make sure you make them large enough. Again, your miniatures stand on top really nicely. That's how to make model hills. So again, if you want to start making your own scenery, it is quite easy once you get the hang of it. So give it a go. You never know what you're capable of. As I say, this is now 25 years old and it's stood up very well. So that's making your own terrain, guys. So hopefully that's been of use to you, some information you can use. Again, if you want to go down the pre-bought stuff, Again, there's plenty of options: plastics, laser cut MDF, printed cardboard, STL files, and Etsy for already pre-made, pre-built stuff for you to get that way. Or say go down the route of any old scrap you can find around the house. You think, oh, that would make a good rocket ship, whatever. You could always go down the route of making your own terrain as well. Your mileage may vary. Well, anyway, thanks again, guys, for listening to my inane drivel. Next video will be about basing materials for your miniatures, and obviously if you're going to make your own terrain, I'll do a quick video on basing materials next. So hopefully we'll see you in that one, and have good gaming, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.